Welcome back to Tailor by Jamyn. So going straight ahead to show you how to make a shawl lapel. These are some patterns you can use for making shawl lapel, but not necessarily a force to use them. You can as well create a pattern or shape you want. So the first line after drawing your vertical and horizontal line, the first line you'll be drawing is the lapel line. So I'm giving 3.5 inch for this particular line I'm drawing now because I want to just show you different examples of both how large you can make a lapel or how small you can make a lapel. But normally you can just use maybe 2 inch or 1.5. It works fine. So for the double-breasted, is a shawl lapel double-breasted. For the double-breasted, we're using 2.5 inch. In double, that's 5 inch. So 2.5 inch is the next line we're measuring after the first line for the lapel line. So now we're measuring 2.5 inch. We're taking the length of the suit as usual, then the button line, the chest divided by 4, the chest divided by 24. So if this sounds foreign to you or new, you can just check the video of our complete suit drafting to understand what we are doing right here. So you extend the lines because this is the front piece, which we're supposed to take out the back piece first before this front piece. So the complete suit drafting material would show you how you can go about that. So if you're just new in my channel, just go after this video, just go right back to watch that so you can understand better. This line I just cancel is for the lapel, and then the next part is for the double-breasted, which I'm just labeling for the double-breasted. So our measurement is starting from the rear line. That's after the double-breasted. That's the third line. So we're taking the measurement of our chest, of the armhole, of the tummy, the chest divided by 4, the tummy divided by 4, and then we'll take out our cuffs. So this is just a guide to put you through how it's been done. So remember this, we're measuring the top of the back to get the top for the front. So whatever we use for the neck of the back, we're adding 1 inch to it to get the neck of the front. So after marking that, you mark what you got from the shoulder of the back that we just measured. You roll it out. So just stay with me. I'm just going through this as fast as possible so that I can show you how to get your shawl lapel accurately. So all these principles are things that we've explained on our other video. So you're not measuring out on the lapel line, but you're taking it from the double-breasted line. That's the second line on the double-breasted line. You're drawing the lapel to meet it. And remember, the lapel line is drawn 3/4 inch away from the neckline. So you take a curve for the neck. So if we're going to use this pattern, at this point in time is where we'll place the pattern and just draw out our marking. You see how the shape will be looking like. If this is the shape you need, this is what you just drop and then cut. You need to just cut out patterns like this to make work easier and faster. It helps you in making your job faster and accurate when you want to make a specific kind of lapel. You just need to place and draw. So let's just drop these patterns aside and then create a new shape of lapel that we'll be wanting. The neck drop in is 3 inch. So we'll draw the shape for the side piece. We'll measure for the hip. So we'll measure the hips and we add the allowance, which is 3 inch. We'll measure for the tummy. We'll measure for the chest. We add the extra allowance, 3 inch. So measure for the pocket, 1.75 away from the armpit. So just measure the darts, just as we do for the normal suit. Just the principle for the normal suit. I'm just taking you through this so you know the principle are basically the same, but you can figure or spot out the basic difference between both. So 3/4 drop in, a bit straight and then slant at the back side. So now we're cutting from the double-breasted side. So now this is 2.5. You can remember it's for the double-breasted. I just mark the button. That is where our lapel is starting from. So you're going to bend through this lapel line. Before then, you just cut out the neck and then you bend. So this is what we are having. So it all depends on you and the size of lapel you want to make. If you want to make a normal size lapel, or you want to make a very big lapel, pronounced lapel, it all depends on your choice and how you want. So you see, this allowance is giving us room to choose whatsoever lapel. Should, in case you don't want to make a very big lapel, you don't need to add up to 3.5. Adding 1.5 inch will be fine, or 2 inch will be fine. So you can see after bending, you're making sure that you're seeing how you want the lapel to look like, and then you trim. And then the top part of the lapel, which is around close to the neck, is not as wide as the lower part. So when it's going up, it reduces a bit, not much reduction though. So as you can see, we've cut out everything. We've drawn out everything. We're just going to cut. So you carefully cut out all the shape. So if you're still yet to subscribe to this channel, just please subscribe. Okay, so now after cutting out the front piece, what we're going to do is to cut out the facing. So now this is where the logic is. This is where you need to understand how to do this. So we add an extra inch of like 6.5. I add 6.5 because it's better you trim than to have short. So at the neck area, you go behind with like 1/2 inch and then connect. So at this point, I'm going to be giving allowance. I'm going to be giving allowance since I'm still going to trim it later on. So watch carefully and then see how this is being taken out. One of the basic things you should know is adding up to 6 inch or 6.5 inch upward for the extra that is going upward. So this is our facing. Now we're going straight to gum all of them and then continue. So after gumming, after making our canvas and doing our pockets, if you're yet to still understand how to arrange your canvas, you can also check on suit padding and canvassing on my channel. There's a video for that. Then arrange the back and then fix it up. Bend the lapel on the line of that, on that lapel line. Just bend it all through. So the next thing we'll be doing is to cut out the collarmenting so as it can help in giving the neck a base. So you fold the collarmenting into two. So I believe some of us might be wondering why this method. Now, instead of extending your material upward, I prefer this method because it gives room for you to design your lapel any design you want, and then making sure it sits very well. You have to make sure you lie it down this way, not dragging it forward. Make sure you open it completely, and this is sitting as I am doing right now, to avoid shortage of the collarmenting. Because if you don't open it properly, the collarmenting will be short, and then it will cause squeezing on the body of the suit. So after cutting out the shape, you just take it half inch upward, and then you trim. That the half inch upward is for the slant to have to give the collarmenting curve when you attach it to the neck. So the next thing we're doing is attaching the collarmenting to the neck of the suit using pins. We're not yet going to sew it. So I believe I have shown a little of this kind of principle on my notch lapel collar collar fixing. So but this is shawl lapel, but there are definitely some principles that might look alike, like this part that you have to pin your collarmenting. So after pinning the collar to the collarmenting, I also pin the side panel to the back so as it sits well on the mannequin when I want to reshape the collar or the lapel. So now, as you can see, the back of the lapel is falling too much, so we have to retrim it, and then the back is supposed to be 1.5 inch, and then you add your sewing allowance, but no more than 0.5 or 0.25. Then you shapen the collar. Make sure you give it a very good shape. Shapen the collar carefully, halfway though. You don't shape the both side, you shape it halfway. Reason being that you have to take it back to the table Now this is back to the table. So we've shaped halfway. You now place it together this way to shape the other side so that they would look the same. If you shape it complete on the table, you might not get it right. So you just shape from the center to one side, either the right or the left, whichever way you choose. So now after trimming it, you just notch the center. So basically you would be going to the machine to sew this now, since you're sure it's sitting right. But if you have a zigzag machine, you can also zigzag around it.
And this is the SHAWL LAPEL.
This is after sewing.
Come closer. See this place, it has to be lying down flat as this. It has to be lying down this way. It doesn't have to be bulging. So if this place is bulging, the remedy to it is loosen up this place and then tuck in the collar menting. Tuck in the collar menting a bit to go under this so you can eradicate the bulging. But the case where the lower part, like the body of the suit, is squeezing, like the body of the suit has squeezed, that means this upper part, the lapel, is short. The lapel is short, and then you have to increase the lapel. The only way you can increase the lapel is loosening the collar menting and adding it up. Like you can open here and add it up for the body to lie down flat. So you might encounter those kind of problem where you have excesses, there are squeeze around the neck and all that. Those are the little problems when the lapel is not sitting well and then it's not long enough. It either makes the lapel to raise up or have squeeze around the body of the suit. But you can see how this lapel is sitting fine. Look at the back. Look at the back, there's no excess and there are no squeeze. It's lying down flat. And that is the way to go about making a SHAWL lapel, to make it accurately and perfectly done. So let's go on. I'll show you how to attach the facing to this to avoid any common or technical error that might occur in doing it.
So that is that. I have to leave that for the original video sound to explain, because I feel my voiceover would not do justice to it. So before now, I just unpinned the side panel that I pinned to use on the mannequin. And now this is the facing. We've arranged the facing. We've cut out the lining already. So now we're going to place and then trim the facing now. This is the time to trim the facing. As you can see, after placing, so you see we have much trimming to do. So you make sure they're sitting right before you go ahead with your trimming. Please guys, don't be in a haste on this particular part, because this is the part that makes your SHAWL lapel sit properly. If you get it wrong here, it will be a disaster. So this lining that is excess, you have to trim it same as the shoulder, or add just 0.25 ahead of the shoulder line. So now you mark ½ inch behind the neckline. So you see I'm adding ½ inch allowance. That's what we'll be sewing. So you go back of the neck, you just add ½ inch as well. So all the excess, you trim them out. So you see, the back is going inward half inch from the material of the back, like of the back of the suit. That's the back of the facing of the lapel is going inward half inch, and the top of the facing as well is, this place I'm pointing is going half inch inward, and then this top is also coming half inch upward. Half inch upward. Then you mark this, the half inch is coming upward. As you can see, I just marked. I'm not cutting it out, I'm just notching. So that's that. You go to stitch, you stitch the half inch on the machine. So before that, you have to trim the second part. Same. So you trim the second one, same as. So this marking will sew. Before then, we're folding 2 inch from down of the suit. That's the length we folded, we added, the inch we added. Fold 2 inch. So remember the lapel part, I said we're going to be sewing. We've sewn it already. And then now the center of the collar maintain, you attach with the center of the lapel. And all you need to do is to pin it all around. This pinning helps you gain accuracy in your sewing. It doesn't matter if you are professional or starter, beginner, intermediate, just pin it. This pinning gives you accuracy. You will love the outcome if you always do this. So you pin and then go to the machine. After pinning, okay, you trim this excess here. Then the next thing is we'll be going to the machine to sew it up. As you can see, I've attached the lapel already. So now this is after sewing, after we've stitched it all round. So now we're turning it and then hemming it first. You're not going directly to sew it. You have to hem it and then position the direction of where you want the suit to lie, like during hemming. So now this is after hemming. So you need to understand how to press adequately. Making a suit has to do with a lot of pressing. Your pressing determines how good your finishing is. So you have to press adequately at every point. You need to press. You have to press very well to bring out the detail. So now we're going to be stitching this lining part. We're going to be hemming, not stitching. Pardon me. We're going to hem this lower part. So carefully hem it. Making sure it's lying accurately. So you bend the lapel and then press it on that same line as we've done before. So we will be trimming the lining. So carefully see how this lining is being trimmed. So this part that is coming out is complementing the part of the back that is going in. So I'll just show you that in a bit. This is the part of the back. The back is going in while the body is coming out, like the front body is coming out, and then the back is going in. This is coming out, the other one is going in, so it complements each other. So do the same thing for the other side. So meanwhile, the lining of the neck is going to be attached from the center here, like that. So that's the basic things we need. Attach the side, and then the neck lining is attached, and then the body of our suit is done. Voila. You can see how good the lapel is sitting. So in case you still have any troubles, any question, you can leave it on the comment section, and I would make sure I give answers to that. Now I'll be leaving links on the description for you to see other related videos that will help you in achieving these perfect looks.